What are the best questions for a realtor or a home buyer to ask a lender? I'm going to share many of these questions in this video, but I've also created a cheat sheet with all the questions along with some of the correct answers you want to get when talking to the lender. So that you don't have to take notes, just message me and I'll send over the PDF. So now let's get started. First, you want to start with questions around the pre-approval itself. The first great question is, who did the pre-approval? Was it a brand new loan officer, a seasoned loan officer, an assistant, a processor, an underwriter? It's always good to know who is doing the work. It's also important to make sure that the lender has completed a full review of the buyer's qualifications. Now, this includes the review of income, debts, and assets for the down payment and closing costs. A good question to ask a lender is, did you run automated underwriting and receive eligibility? These automated systems, with a common one being called DU, are used almost on every loan excluding a few jumbo portfolio loans. It's also good to ask, are all the assets needed for the down payment and closing costs readily available, and are any of the assets coming from a gift or other sources? A good question to ask the lender around income is, did you fully document the buyer's employment and income? For example, if they're an hourly employee, how did the lender calculate this? You would want to hear from them that they have paychecks and have verified directly with the employer. That's called a verification of employment, or a VOE for short. Now, the overall best question to ask after receiving a pre-approval is there anything that you're missing in the way of information or documentation that would prevent you from closing this loan? That's a great one. Now, there's some other good questions to ask your lender around contingencies and closing, such as, do you have in-house underwriting team, or do they need to be sent out for a pre-approval or an approval? What's the current turn time in underwriting? Is it a couple hours, a couple days, or a couple weeks? What are your turn times for appraisal contingency, loan contingency, and the close of escrow? Did you see anything that could cause a delay in this loan file? Do you have your own appraisal panel, or do you use an outside appraisal management company? And how long does it take right now to get an appraisal back? How about some common questions around communication, since that's very important in the transaction? Like, who is going to be my contact during the loan process? What hours are you available? Can I get your cell phone number in case I need you after hours or on the weekend? How will you keep me updated on the progress of this loan? Will there be proactive updates on a weekly basis, or is this something I must call you to get information on? I know that's a lot of questions, but just reach out and I'll send you the PDF to make it easy. I'm on your team and I'm here to help.